A very good morning to all. I, Prashant Payam, welcome all the participants for the national webinar on German language proficiency for technical students, organized by Sanatana Research and Training Institute, a unit of Sanatana Samprathisthana Mysore, in association with the Rotary Club of Mysore West. Let us begin this webinar by seeking the blessings of Lord Almighty, because prayer is the process of talking to God in order to achieve a purpose. Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Nirvignam Deva Sarvada. Now I request Dr. Ramchandra CG, the Managing Director of Sanatana Research and Training Institute, to welcome and introduce the speaker of today's national webinar. I also request him to welcome the guest and all the participants. Over to you, sir.
A very good morning, one and all. So I take this opportunity on behalf of Sanatana Research and Training Institute, a unit of Sanatana Samprathisthana, Mysuru, to welcome today's speaker, Mrs. Ambujakshi Kenchaya, ex-General Manager, Corporate Purchasing and Logistics, Bosch Limited, India, and today's guest, Dr. Raghavendra Prasad, MD, President, and Sri Dinesh Kumar, Secretary, Rotary Club of Mysore West, and participants from different parts of the country. We have around 17 different states are participating today, both students as well as faculty members. And let me introduce today's speaker, Mrs. Ambuja Kenchaya. And coming to her education, she has obtained her BE in Electrical Power from NI Mysore in the year 1985. And she has completed Executive General Management Program from IIM Bangalore in the year 2012. And she has also completed German language skill B2 level from Goethe Institute in the year 2021. And coming to her work experience, she has worked as a manager in the machine building division at Bosch Limited, India, and as an on-site software engineer in the machine design department, Göring Machine Fabric GmbH, Germany, deputed from Bosch. As a senior manager in software quality control and pre-planning of machines, Bosch Limited, India. As a general manager, corporate purchasing and logistics, Bosch Limited, India. And she has handled so many the responsibilities as well as so many projects. Let me name a few. Purchasing of goods and services for facility management and IT divisions at corporate level. Construction projects purchasing including design consultancy, project management consultancy, civil, electrical, mechanical services and contracts, tenders worth more than 100 million euros. So, and coming to our area of interest, which includes industrial automation, industry 4.0, purchasing, under that goods and services, and continuous improvement process, CIP, and other techno-commercial areas. Let me summarize. She is a techno-commercial and management expert with 29 years of work experience at Bosch, India. She has hands-on experience with the design, assembly, tryout, validation, internal audits, project management, pre-planning of machines, software quality assurance for machine tool manufacturing and maintenance. She has gained a lot of experience and expertise in the area of industrial automation, operation technology, and manufacturing processes. She's trained in leadership skills, team building activities, conflict management, and continuous improvement process. So these are all the brief introduction about today's speaker. And coming to today's program, so before starting that, so let me start with the quote. A beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you. So that's why, so never stop learning. When you stop learning, then we stop growing. So learning gives creativity. Creativity leads to thinking, and thinking provides you the knowledge, and knowledge make you great. So knowledge is divine. So knowledge is powerful too, and it should be shared. So this is one platform we have created to share the knowledge, so to make use of this. So we have called so many participants and as well as faculty members so across the country. And language, so what exactly, so we think of language as a system of conventional spoken, either it might be a manual or written symbols by means of which human beings as members of social group and participants in its culture express themselves. Language is a normal way humans communicate. Only humans use language, though other animals communicate through other means. The study of language is called linguistics. Human language has syntax, a set of rules of connecting words together to make statements and questions. And coming to German language, it is an official language of both Germany and Austria, and one of the official languages of Switzerland. And even German belongs to the West Germanic group of the Indo-European language family, along with English, Frisian, and Dutch. So there is Netherlandic, Flemish, and even German is spoken by more than 120 million people in Austria, Germany, and even Switzerland, and in parts of Belgium, and even northern Italy and eastern France, etc. And it is a key language in the European Union and new economies of Central and Eastern Europe. Even abroad, the German language seems to be in great demand. According to ZAF, that is Center of Education and Training, in 2015, about 15.4 million people attended German course at schools, universities, or language institutions across the globe. Half a million more students than 5 years ago. So that means, in addition to this, German belongs to the 10 most popular languages in the entire world. And that is why it has got an entry in the Guinness Book of World Records in the year 2006. So with this, today's national webinar on general language proficiency for technical students. So with this, I wish all the participants will have a fruitful interaction with the speaker. Once again, thank you and all. Over to you, Prashant. Prashant?
Hello.
Yeah, you can continue.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I request today's chief guest, Shri Dinesh Kumar DK, the Secretary of
Okay, Prashant, thank you very much. Good morning, one and all. Today, Sanatana Research and Training Institute, in association with the Rotary Club of Mysore West, organizing national webinar on German language proficiency for technical students. First of all, I express my gratitude to Mr. Ambujaksi Kanchaya, retired General Manager, Corporate Purchasing and Logistics, Bosch Limited, for accepting invitation to deliver talk. Today, you know very well, if you want to study in abroad like Germany, Japan, their language is very much essential. When I was in Japan 2010, deputed by government of Karnataka, because I am working for Karnataka Renewable Energy Department. Each state they deputed one engineers for training purpose, renewable energy conservation for 6 months training. I faced a lot because of Japan language, because almost 95% of the people, they will speak only Japanese language.
Yeah.
English is very less. And also I happy madam is completed engineering in Mysore, that to NIE. I am also belongs to NIE. I completed engineering in NIE College, alumni of NIE. I congratulate once again Sanatana Research and Training Institute for organizing very important subject. It is need for the day. I request all the participants to utilize these opportunities. I once again, I wish you all the best for program. Over to Prashant.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mrs. Ambujakshi Kenchaya, ex-General Manager, Corporate Purchasing and Logistics, Bosch India, Bosch Limited India, to start her session. Over to you, madam.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Welcome you all. Good morning.
Good morning.
And yeah, I welcome you all to this presentation on German language proficiency for technical students. I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, you are audible.
Yes. So let's go ahead. Just a minute. Yeah. So I'm thankful.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
feel-
Screen is visible. Put it to presentation mode, madam.
Presentation mode. What is wrong? Why?
Go for full screen, madam.
Full
Yeah,
screen.
yeah. One minute.
Go to slideshow. Go to slideshow.
No. Slideshow is better. Yeah, 1 minute. Give me.
Yeah.
Just give me.
Slideshow and from beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Click on that.
Okay.
Yeah, now it is visible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the outset, I would express my sincere thanks for inviting me to be a guest speaker in this forum on German language proficiency for technical students, arranged by Sanatana Research and Training Institute. Already Dr. Ramachandra has highlighted the importance of a language and also German language in particular. However, I would also like to mention a few more points on this. As he is also told, learning a language is always good for one's own personality development and career development. We will come to the point why we have picked up German language as the core topic in today's session. As we go ahead with the slides, you'll be able to get the answer. And see, already in many of the Indian schools, German language and also Spanish, Japanese, French, Italian are included as an international language which can be taken up as a second language. This is with an idea that children can pick up at a very young age this language very well, easily, and they are better prepared for the future. That's the idea. And so many people are also learning German language. So why German language? Though it is, I would say the grammar is a little difficult, but once you learn it, then you will enjoy it. And it has got its own weightage. So I'll be covering this aspect of gaining proficiency in German language for technical students is covered under career guidance. This is because technical professionals, and not only technical students, but also professionals, generally why they need to learn. So I'll touch upon language proficiency and communication skills just to get the flow moving, and then why German language in particular, then how do we build proficiency in German language, and overview of German language certifications levels which are available in India. Then general tips on professional aspects I'll be giving. So what is a language and how do you differentiate between language proficiency and communication skills will be told in a very few words here. So language, as Dr. Ramachandra also mentioned, it has got alphabet, scripts, words, grammar, phrases, etc. Of course, there are some languages which are, communication methods are also called languages, like sign language, and non-verbal languages are also there. A language is meant mainly to communicate or to convey or to tell just whatever you want to convey to your friends, your family members, your boss, or your subordinates. You could slightly change the language, the words that you are using to when you're interacting with your boss may be different from the words what you're using with your subordinates or family members. Slight difference could be there. But knowing a language is sufficient for general public. That is, general public, they have a set of words which they'll be regularly using in their day-to-day affairs. That is sufficient for general public. But for professionals, you need to gain proficiency. That's an advanced step, and good communication skills are expected of professionals. Then how proficiency, what do you mean by proficiency in a language? It is the ability to express oneself easily and articulately. Articulately is the word where on which I stress upon here. That is, you should be, when you are a professional, you can't be talking in layman's terms always. Definitely at times or at home, you could be speaking the normal language, but when you're in a professional front and you're interacting on a professional level, you need to have proficiency in the language, and you need to speak articulately, even maybe a written language also. It covers proficiency in reading, writing, speaking, and hearing comprehension. Definitely proficiency in a language reflects your personality. It serves as a proof of competence for jobs and universities, because they need to know at international level what level of proficiency you have in a language. They also check how you speak, your accent, your pronunciations, your spelling. So all of that will be checked, because we may be saying that we know English, but somebody also has to recognize it internationally. Yes, they have at international level proficiency they have. So for that, we have some certificates like TOEFL, TELC, Test DARF, that is Test of English as Foreign Language for English language, TELC, that is for European language, the English language certificate, that is TELC abbreviation, and Test DARF, Test of Deutsch als Fremdsprache, Test DAF. Then there are levels in this certification. Minimum levels of proficiency is required for jobs and studies. Not all universities or not all companies demand the highest level. Okay. Then coming to communication skills, it refers to an individual, it refers to the ability that an individual has in conversing effectively with others. That is, in a given situation, maybe it's an examination which is going on, or there is a debate which is happening, because group discussions are a part of selection processes for students, for professionals. Even in this, how you interact, this is gauged by your communication skills. You need to give the required information at the right time, also generally. Of course, this doesn't come overnight. You need to practice it and perfect it. It needs patience generally. The first step is definitely proficiency in a language, because when you say you have proficiency in language, your grammar will be perfect, your vocabulary will be good, and you have also knowledge in various other fields, because to be a good communicator, a person who is having a good communication skills, you need a wide-based knowledge. So this is what I mean here. Person with good communication skills is seen as confident, knowledgeable, and good conversational skills. Communication skills also cover verbal and non-verbal, as we have told, because body language is also said. Even with eyes, you could be talking, your hands, your gestures, all of that will be part of communication skills. And communication, yeah, okay. So let's move ahead to the core of the presentation of today's session. Why German language? See, financials speaks volumes. We can see from World GDP ranking 2019 where the powerful countries are. USA stands first with 21.5 trillion US dollars, and China is at 2 with 14.3 trillion US dollars, Japan with 5 trillion US dollars, Germany at 4th place with 3.8 trillion US dollars, and India at 5th place with 2.8 trillion US dollars, and UK and France follow. So Germany, size-wise, is as big as Karnataka state in India, but the economy is much more than whole of India. This is a point to be noted. Even population-wise, Germany has around 8.4 crores of people, and Karnataka has around 6.4 crore people. And viewers who are from other states, I want to clarify that since I'm taking example of Karnataka because I'm conversant with it. So it is just for comparison's sake. And you people also could draw parallels from this. So if Germany with such small size is able to do so well economically, it definitely has some points from which we can learn some lessons or pick some points, maybe follow them in some aspects. This is the idea behind presenting this slide. Continuing on that, as I said, Germany is a strong economy. They have very good public infrastructure, that is good public transport system. It doesn't mean that Germans don't have private cars. All Germans are crazy after latest models of automobiles. And all of them will own individualized cars. Still, the public transport system is very good and very safe too. And they run to the second, so prompt. They were known for it in 2000. From 1997, I have been visiting Germany, and I've seen their trains, they'll say arrival at, say, 13.02. That means at 1 o'clock, 2 minutes. Right at on minute 2, it arrives. So that is the way it is. Two things are outstandingly impressive in Germany. One is the time sense and the cleanliness. It's outstanding. It's impossible to imagine. That's the way it is. And they have good public healthcare system. It is also evident now in this COVID times. Clean environment. See, here one can also understand with reference to the Euro standards. In India, we are at Bharat Stage 6 now, implemented from April, with effect from April 2020. We jumped from Stage 4 to Stage 6, which is a derivative of Euro 6 norms, which is always at a higher level. So they always have clean environment, and the crime rates are very low because their legal system is very strict, very harsh penalties. And I used to feel very safe on the streets. A worker feels very safe in Germany. I want to give you an example. The police force compared to police force in India and Germany, when we compare, it's almost 1:10, meaning in India, for example, say for 10,000 people, there is one police person. In Germany, for same 10,000, there will be 10 police people, and all of them will be equipped with latest gadgets. You can see even now on in some TV news, BBC or Al Jazeera, and some news you can keep seeing where they cover Europe a lot. All of them will be carrying so much of gadgets on person, police personnel. Inflation is very low. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Then they have latest processes always. Here, since it's technical students, I'm highlighting that their manufacturing and logistics processes are highlighted, which are as per Industry 4.0. This is a field where Industry 4.0 is most applicable, manufacturing and logistics. This is for some of you who are new to this topic, just few lines I'm going to add. Industry 4.0 is an initiative which is started by the German government since 2010. In 2010, they started with a team of people from Bosch, Siemens, and few other bigwigs in the industry, manufacturing industry. And to a great extent, this is nothing but, see, all of you have heard of smart cities. Industry 4.0, nothing but smart factory. In a city, whatever you want to make it smart, the same smartness they want to bring it in a factory where end-to-end processes will be connected to the internet. In simple terms, all the machines in a company will be hooked onto the network with IP address, and big data will be taken up and analyzed, solutions provided, monitored, controlled, all of this. This is all about Industry 4.0. And in this area, a lot of opportunities exist for technical students, because Industry 4.0 is not what you implement only in German companies, German plants, but also in countries, in other plants, Indian plants as well, and also say German companies which are having plants in India, they have already started implementing it. They have caught up. Since 4-5 years, they are doing it. Small steps, of course, they have not yet fully realized, but this is going on. Then, as I told you, I'm covering this under two headings, that is both under career guidance, maybe for higher studies and for job opportunities. So when it comes to higher studies in Germany, the public universities in Germany are attractive for one big reason, that it is free of charge. Of course, there will be some nominal fees in some universities, like say Stuttgart University in Baden-Württemberg in southern Germany charges 1,500 euros per semester, which is not a big amount. And another reason, just this is an insider view, why the seats are available in universities. So to start with, of course, the universities are of very high standard and they have a very rigid schooling system. So not many German kids will be able to do diploma in engineering. Diploma in engineering is equivalent to our bachelor's, BE in India. So they'll not be able to do BE or diploma in engineering in Germany because of this rigid schooling rules and regulations. And another reason they thought earlier was the German language was a big hurdle. Since they needed German language to study even in universities, not many international students were taking up these seats. So now they have eased. They say English is medium of instruction, as English is available in German universities also, but for which you need to produce TOEFL or IELTS certificates. And you can check those details on daad.da. Yeah. Then I also give you some hints. Germany has low birth rate and aging workforce. German government has given a lot of initiatives, incentives rather, and they promote childbirth. Like say, every child gets some allowance from the government till it attains certain age. And maternity leaves are also available. So both father and mother can take leave up to 1 year. And so many such facilities, and their kindergartens and schooling is free in these public schools to almost degree level. And so many such facilities they have. But still, somehow Germans are not wanting to have children and bring them up for some of their own reasons. So over a period, their own population is aging because of no induction of young ones into the workforce. And certain jobs, say some desk jobs are taken up by other nationals. Just to name a few, Turks, Italians, Czechs, Poles, they'll be taking up these desk jobs. And I always thought Indians are better qualified, and this is one area where they can also look into and gain entry. Of course, here where these desk jobs mean that you are interacting more with the local population. So you need to develop German language, definitely. Then continuing one more slide on this. I said Germany has very stable economy in Europe. Dr. Ramachandra also mentioned. And one of the reasons I would attribute it is stable government. See, Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, she has been at the helm of affairs for 16 years, who's due to retire this year. And she has done wonders to her country, and she has brought up Germany so well in these 16 years. Before her, when Dr. Helmut Kohl was there, he was also there for 18 years. So their governments are stable. Stable government means stable governance and hence stable economy. Then most of the big products, brands like Bosch, BMW, Volkswagen, Rittal, La, Schneider, Siemens, they're all from Germany. And even Gering, where I was working, it was the world leader in honing machines. And work culture of them is very good. This was very, very attractive for me. See, they are highly, highly organized, and they're sticklers to schedule, timings, agenda, rules and regulations. Without an agenda, they'll not start a meeting. And in the meeting, they'll stick to the timings and to the points. Once the meeting is over, they're going to finish with the minutes of meeting and put who's responsible for what by when. So the entire process is tied up that way. And in a particular format, you have to do all those things, everything they follow. And another aspect is official and personal space is clearly separated. I would say India needs to adopt this in a big way. A German, when he's in office, is not going to think about his personal problems or attend to his personal problems sitting in office. And when he's at home, he's not going to think about his office. Here in India, we really mix up both all the times, which should be reduced, minimized. And good work environment, which is provided by the government. I also touched upon this slightly. They have safe and advanced processes, good public healthcare system. They have good health insurance schemes, social security, pension fund, maternity and paternity leaves also. Their salaries are also good. They have a fixed national average minimum income per month of 2,500 euros per month. So that way you're assured of minimum salaries, and an Indian can save a lot with this earning. Over a period, India-Germany relationships have shaped up very well. There are a lot of German MNCs in India and vice versa. See, earlier Germany was known for manufacturing sector of mainly automobile and electrical items. Later on, they realized that they're lagging behind India in IT sector. So they have gone in a big way, like SAP. What they have, SAP is also from Germany, and mobiles, Vodafone, and the manufacturing of those products is also increased in Germany. And over a period, the mutual trust and reliability has grown between India and Germany. And Indians, they view as friendly, intelligent, and hardworking. All three, they have it in mind that, yeah, oh, Indian, he's hardworking, he's friendly, and he's intelligent, and he has good English language. These are the factors they bear it in mind. So now I have impressed upon why Germany and why German language. Now I'm showing you an overview of how one can get German language proficiency. There are three streams, main streams I'm mentioning, and all are based on common European framework of reference for languages. One is Goethe Institute. It's a non-profit cultural association which is having an agreement with German Foreign Ministry. They have three objectives: to promote German language, to promote German culture, and to project Germany politically. That's their objective, three objectives. And they teach only German language because language teaching is one part of Goethe Institute's job profile. So, and they teach only German language. There are 6 levels through which you can go through: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. A1, A2 is, if you complete, it's considered as beginner's level. B1, B2 is for professionals. Most of the universities will ask for B2. Some universities will also accept B1. Some jobs also B1. Minimum B1 will be required for you to work there. And C1, C2 is for advanced professionals. Say you want to teach in a German university, then you may need C1. You want to work in a German, say, ad company, or in say their TV stations, then you need C2, which is the most advanced. Generally speaking, it takes 120 to 180 hours per course, that is up to B1. B2, you need some more hours. And Goethe Institute is having regular exams. Due to COVID now, they are conducting online classes. Otherwise, they have all sorts of flexibilities and intensive, super intensive, and for youngsters, for adults, weekend courses, crash courses. They also come and conduct in, say, companies, colleges, and they have internal students and external students. External students means you learn under some tutors outside and take exams at Goethe Institute. Of course, the exam fees will be little higher compared to that. Otherwise, you get the same certificate, and which is valid throughout the world because it's world standard, one standard. Then TELC, that's a European language certificate. It's under German ministry, directly under the higher education ministry. It's for 10 languages. As the name itself says, European languages. It gives certificates in 10 European languages. It has only exam centers. It is also same levels, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Additionally, they have B2 medicine and B2 Beruf. Test DAF is another examination. It's just an entrance exam for German language. It's conducted at Goethe and some test centers. It's one certificate which is equivalent to between B2 and C1 level. Then some general tips I want to give you on professional aspects. See, technology keeps on changing, and you keep on learning new things, whatever comes up. That's a hard skill that's required for your career. Whereas, and you'll feel burdened at some stage. You will really get fed up. I know, because I have worked from, say, industry 2.0, 3.0, and now industry 4.0 is the latest. So it goes on changing, and then you have to go on learning new things, whether you want it or not. Whereas a language is not like that. Basically, it remains the same. And once you have learned, it's an asset for you for lifetime. You gained proficiency for lifetime, and you can keep on improving it. Of course, you have to keep in touch with the language, otherwise you will forget it in no time. As I've told you, German language proficiency is an additional qualification along with English, of course, not only in Germany, in other countries as well. He was also mentioning 6 other countries where German language is either official language or sole language. I mean, either official language or additional language. And then the next point is, I would suggest technical students should learn German language in India, because many now that German universities are offering English language as medium of instruction, many students go to Germany and then they enroll themselves for a German language course over there. Managing the timings and the expense over there. Naturally, it's going to be costlier compared to India. And in India, you have the advantage of learning it with respect to your local languages also. So that way, learning German language in India at your own pace is better compared to, let's say, you go to Germany and then they are asking for a certificate, so you enroll yourself in a institute and rush to learn it. Yeah. And I also told in the earlier slides that though English is officially acceptable over there in many universities and also some companies, they insist on fluent English and German. Fluent is, the moment they say fluent, then it is B1, B2 level. So even otherwise, if you're not going to Germany or not going to work in Germany, not going for higher studies, knowing German language in India has its own advantages. You can be teaching German language in India, or you can be doing translation jobs, so it's not going to go waste. So don't think if I have no plans of going to Germany or working in Germany. I don't want, why should I learn this German language? You have other benefits, other use for it. And when you learn a language, a German language, you'll also get to know their culture and their standards, because a language also reflects culture. So exposure to German standards and their culture is a good experience. It can also become a hobby for you. After all, in India, it's only 60 years of work life now. After that, what do? You can also be taking up a second profession. I think now people have got answers to that question, why German language, right? So here I've just listed some useful details, websites for learning German language. One is VHS Learn Portal, where even to B2 levels, it's free of charge. It's from German government. They promote their language wholeheartedly and in full swing, full blast they are promoting. So VHS Learn Portal, you can just register yourself. The biggest advantage is a tutor will be assigned to you, and there will be assignment, she'll correct, she or he, the tutor will correct. And you get that, and that person is a German, local. So you get a taste of it, and you learn better. There are YouTube channels. The ones which I used to refer is Easy German, and also Deutsch with Maria. Then you can take help of the online dictionary Reverso.net, which is a free one. Download it and keep it. You can put in English, type in and take the translations, convert it to German, vice versa. And Deutsche Welle is a good site where you can see a lot of videos. And there are standard websites or Goethe and Deutsche Welle. And of course, free online classes are there. So many people are conducting. YouTube channels are also there. Many tutors are available. Home tutors, online tutors. So that's the end of my presentation. And also I want to give you one more, just my personal experience. When I did B2 in February 2021, except me, all other people were nursing students from Kerala. See, they have already picked up the queue. In this COVID, they've realized that there is a dearth of healthcare professionals and everybody wants to take this queue and go to Germany. So already all of them are taking German language certificates. So this is the way one should be. Next, after 2-3 years or now, what is the trend that is happening in the market? How people are aligning. So go in that direction. Everyone earlier wanted to go to USA. That's saturated now. Europe has opened up. You could be doing that. Yeah. So that's the end of my presentation. And I sincerely thank Dr. Ramachandra and team and the Rotary Club members and other people associated with this institute for having given me this opportunity to interact with you all. I'm now open to questions.
Thank you very much, madam, for the wonderful and enlightening session. Now the participants can interact with the speaker by unmuting themselves. If you have any queries or questions, you can straight away directly can interact with the speaker only. So that provision is given to you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
This is Shailesh here. Ma'am,
Yeah.
actually, off late, before I pose a question, I just wanted to congratulate you and thank you for such a wonderful, very informative presentation, ma'am. So
Thank you.
trust me, it was one of the mind-opening and also it was the best presentation that I have heard about this German language.
Oh, I'm honored.
Very resourceful, ma'am. Very resourceful.
Very good.
So
Yeah.
you just ignited a dream in the listeners.
That was the idea behind it, that we are giving you an input so that you can shape your future. and decide.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of people will not be knowing, or they'll have their own questions in mind. Why Germany? Should I go? Where to go? What to study? See, because when you give your CV, nobody's will be satisfied, or they will pick your CV if you are saying just I have passed B with this score. No, they'll always see what is the additional qualification you have.
Correct,
All
correct.
these
Very true, ma'am.
so this is why we thought we'll give input, so that this is an input for everybody to shape their future and a right direction, seeing the trend.
Definitely, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much again. Coming to the question, like, off late I was searching for a German language tutors, like, paid type only. And I found, like, some institute, they will tell we can finish off A1 in A1 and A2 within 2 months, and where Goethe and all, they take little longer.
Yes.
So, what's the like? Why there is so much time gap? First, that is the first question. And second question is, which one to decide and we can rely on for our quality learning?
Okay, I'll tell you. Let's work back.
Okay.
The valid certificate you must have to prove that you know the language. For you
Okay.
to just learn the language as a hobby, you can be learning from any tutor, and also you can be learning for any length of time. But
Yeah.
when you have a time schedule and you want to prove, want to have a certificate, then definitely Goethe certificate is of highest value. Goethe
Okay.
certificates, one certificate you should possess. So for that, whether you have to go to Goethe Institute to learn or you can learn from tutor is another question, is a different question. So now
Yeah.
there are so many tutors who can teach you well, but I see, even I have seen minimum 80 to 100 hours is definitely teaching us, 80 to 100 teaching us is required for even
Okay.
A1 level, with the
Okay.
right pronunciation and with the right grammar, and those are. And vocabulary, of course, one has to build on their own, and then you will have to spend some time for doing all the homework, and you have to work at home. So now this tutor, I don't know if in 1 month they're going to do, whether they are going to do every day, how many hours, these things we'll have to check. Because
Okay.
finally, you can do one thing. Goethe Institutes, Goethe Indian Bangalore, if you go and see, there are test papers which are available, even for all the
Okay.
levels. So you take the level and see whether what the tutor has taught is sufficient, and you need to build some more. Because
Okay.
I do not want to straight away say that what they're teaching is not going to be good, because I don't know how many hours they're going to teach and how they're going to teach, and with respect to what, like many of them may teach with respect to English.
Yeah.
And if your English level is quite good, then you can pick up very well. But if, see, many times it so happens that somebody who's learning German language will have to brush up their English also. Because if somebody
Okay.
says this is the pronoun and
Yeah.
this is the adjective, declination, you may not be able to understand. So all these matters. So if you're, definitely Goethe is good, but they have their own, what to say, they're very dominant. So they have their own rules and regulations, and many people may not be able to afford it. So all these points count.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Any more questions from any participants? So directly you can unmute yourself and you can ask speaker directly. Anyone wanted any clarifications or any information pertaining to today's presentation? Feel free to ask her.
Hello. Ma'am, I wanted to ask you a question. Before that, thank you for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Now, the question is, to learn German, to self-learn German, how much time would you require normally, without the help of tutors, only through YouTube channels or online websites? How much time would you require?
Okay, again, it's the same. Around say 80 to 100 hours of teaching yourself, plus maybe another 30-40% of the time for you to do the homework. I mean, exercises and check for yourself. So keep it easily, say 120 hours. 120 hours, how much that translates, because you should also not be sitting and doing say 10 hours every day. That's not a good way of learning, because it has to sink in. So I would say a maximum 4 to 6 hours a day. If you take, then say around 120 hours, if you can spend, you should be able to do A1 level. Then slightly more for A2 level, little more for B1 and B2. So here the only problem is, you need to have a tutor who's going to correct your pronunciation. See, A1 doesn't matter much. A1 doesn't matter much. A2, because in exams, you'll also have the speaking part of it, which will be tested. So your pronunciation will also be checked. Your communication skills will be checked with limited vocabulary, of course. So this will be checked. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So to improve our pronunciation, tutor is a must.
Yeah. Tutor there is some online ones. I don't know if this VHS Learn portal, there is a possibility for the tutor to even correct your pronunciation, some minimum meaning some exercises are for speaking also. So that will also get checked. This is a very good one, VHS Learn portal. So check that. If it is not possible with that, with that and with some videos, if you can learn on your own, A1, I think you can finish it, definitely.
Yes, ma'am.
But in my own personal opinion, at least A1 and A2, if you learn with somebody, then the pronunciations and grammar will be sound.
Yeah.
Once that is grown, further improving will be easier, where you can be on your own.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome.
Good noon, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful talk. I would like to ask one question, that how long would be the certificate be valid for? Because some institutes ask for validation of the certificates for about particular years, and do we need to renew it for the particular time? Thank you.
Yes, yes. I have not really checked on that, but I'm sure it is valid for at least 15-20 years, at least easily 15-20 years, not 4 years, 5 years, like say some score is going to be valid. No, it is much more than that. Definitely more than 10 years, I can guarantee you on that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and one more point I want to add here. That is why when you're say a technical student, you can start from your second year and then maybe do it up to third year, because final year, all of you will be busy with your project work and applying to universities, taking entrance exams and all that. So don't burden yourself in the final year, or if you have already studied, don't only take the exams, because even if you want to take exam at Goethe Institute as an external candidate or an external candidate, then the slots won't be available because they have so much of demand. So they'll ask you to wait for some time and all that. So seeing this, my practical advice is second year and third year engineering, in second and third year of their engineering course, they can finish these courses. and concentrate on their studies, and also keep in touch, revise the language, because if you don't revise, you will forget it. But you will not have the pressure in the final year.
Correct. So any more questions?
Madam, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for giving the wonderful information about the German language.
Most welcome.
Madam, I have a doubt. Like, if we are learning a course, like example for Java and Python, if you have learned the course, that institution will be providing a certificate like this guy have learned this language, so that he can apply for a for jobs, and it will be very useful for us, na? Like that way, if you have learned the German language, means will there be any kind of certificate that will be useful for, not useful, it will be useful for us only. If you have learned the German language, means the institution gonna provide, or do we need to apply for another thing for getting the certificate, man?
No, no institute gives you a certificate of having attended the course. No, that will not be given. You have to produce the certificate of competence. That is, you have passed the exam. A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. You have to take the exam. Only if you pass, then there is a certificate. Otherwise, no. Even this VHS Learn portal, when you complete it, you can complete the course at your own pace. Like say, if there are 18 chapters, you do 3 chapters in this week, and then don't do for next 1 more week, and then again start the next chapter. That's all okay. But you can take your own sweet time. 6 months, or maybe in 5 months, or in 20 days, you can finish. But they're not going to give you a certificate, because that is a learning tool for you. They are how you have done in the background, they are not sure. So they are not going to give you a certificate of having attended the course. No, it's only the exam pass certificate that you can get.
Okay, thank you, madam. And by the way, I still have a doubt. When will be the exam they are going to conduct that, madam? For getting that.
Who? Goethe Institute?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Goethe, yeah. Goethe regularly publish on their website. No, you go to Goethe Indian and see exams. There they will give you. Of course, there is English and German selection. So you select the English version at the top right hand, and then navigate through, because everything will be in English. For a beginner, or for someone not knowing German, you can always select English and go through that. There is another way of learning also. Switch between English and German and then navigate. Then you'll also understand both the languages.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Madam, I have another doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've gone through A1 up to level A1, madam. Still,
Okay.
do I need to learn more languages? More levels, so that it can be better option for my jobs and everything.
Yes. You should go at least up to B1. B1, do up to B1. You should do.
Okay, madam.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So if there are no doubts, we'll proceed further. So still, any one of you are having any clarifications? Still, the session is open. You can ask. So okay, fine. I thank on behalf of our institution, Mrs. Ambujakshi Kinchaya, for her wonderful session and enlightening us with the German language proficiency, with various examples, whatever she has given. And she started her presentation with what is a language. So it's a means of communication, why it is required, all those examples she has given. And the later communication skill also she has explained. So what are the skills required for the communication purpose? And next, she explained why German language required with various examples she has taken, and including that world GDP ranking list with the help of that, where the German stands, the 3.8 GDP world ranking she has shown, and why German language. So a lot of the examples she has explained, including the facilities, what the facilities they give, and how the university work, what are the education facilities, stringent are the facilities, and which are the universities, and their policies, everything she explained with government, and all the things, and which the part they are. Well, example, manufacturing, automobile sector, they are pioneer in the manufacturing, and which are all the major the companies they originate from Germany. So all those things she explained. And German language proficiency. So she spoke about what all the institutions are available to learn to get the certification, and what are the levels which are available for various the job categories and all, like Goethe Institute, the 6 levels are there, like A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2, and each level to up to what extent you can work or you can perform job over there. So she has explained in detail, and even TELC she has explained, that is a European the institute which first 10 languages, and there are also 6 levels you have to undergo the examinations. And test DAF also she has shown with it's an entrance examination that you have to pass, and a lot of general tips she has given on professional aspects, and even the useful details also she has given. So online, how you can learn, what is the minimum number of hours is required to complete a level, like 80 to 120 hours is quoted, and you can learn by yourself, or going through YouTube links, or even websites and all. But to get the certificate, you have to go to any the institute, and then you have to clear that examination, then only you'll be getting a certificate. And even as she told, a lot of website links and all she has told, and including one many apps are available also, like Duolingo app is there, where I have seen only German. So lot many the languages you can learn free of cost, but for the certification, so to meet the standards or the requirement, so you need to take the examination for various levels to get the certification, all those things. So really it's a wonderful session, the purpose which is organized. So definitely, so most of our the participant, not only from our Karnataka, most of our students and faculty members from other parts of Karnataka. So like Maharashtra, Odisha, we have the participants, Karnataka, and even Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Maharashtra. Many students were there. So I hope so everyone received this information. And also she quoted, so German language is not only to go to the German for study purpose, or doing your higher studies, or even for to work over there. You can learn this German language, at least it will be useful. You can be a tutor to teach German in India itself. So like that. So these are all the various information she has given. Once again, on behalf of all of us, so I thank for sparing your time with us, and sharing your knowledge and enlightening all of us. Thank you, madam.
Oh, I once again thank Sanatana Research and Training Institute and people behind the organization supporting this organization, to name Rotary Club Mysuru. Also, my sincere thanks to all of you, and thanks to all the students, viewers who have sat through and gone through this presentation. I only want to also add one point, that is, see, in such forums, students should speak out. Like, I'm happy now, some of them asked some questions. I also interact career with this input. Close.
Okay, at the end, so once again, thank you for everyone for participating for this webinar. So I mean, take care of yourself. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you all.